Ralph Northam and Ed Gillespie are now key leaders in Virginia political circles, but it took years of successes and setbacks for both men to reach the top as their party's nominee for governor. In 2007, Ralph Northam decided to try his surgical hand at politics. A self-described moderate who had voted for George W. Bush twice, Northam ran as a Democrat in Virginia's 6th District, which includes parts of Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and the Eastern Shore where he grew up. Running a well-financed campaign, Northam upset State Senator Nick Raris, who had been in the General Assembly for 8 years.
I think Northam's background as a doctor and as a physician, as someone who entered that debate not just as a politician, but saying, here's what I think is reasonable from a physician's perspective, has posed him in very good stead in Democratic politics.
His victory helped Democrats reclaim control of the state Senate, but he arrived in Richmond without much fanfare.
He was very much the old archetype of a Southern gentleman. He was soft-spoken, didn't raise his voice a lot on the floor, didn't really, he wasn't one of the really impassioned debaters that you'd see, as many freshman lawmakers are when they come into the Senate.
Still, now Senator Tim Kaine, who was governor at the time, says he noticed Northam's potential immediately.
Within 3 months after coming to the Senate, I had him in my office and I said, I really think you would be a good governor one day. I don't know whether that's what you want to do. I have no idea whether Pam would be interested in it, but just in terms of what you bring to the table, I think you'd be a great governor.
But he wasn't the only one who thought Northam had potential. A number of Republicans began to think they may have found a kindred spirit. In the year 2000, Ed Gillespie co-founded a bipartisan lobbying firm with Democrat Jack Quinn. It became a massive success, with Fortune 500 clients such as Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Verizon, Hilton, and, as his opponents have pointed out, Enron.
Well, certainly Ralph Northam has spent much of this campaign trying to make it into an expletive, calling him Enron Ed, trying to contrast Ralph Northam in his white doctor suit to a lobbyist for all kinds of issues and big corporations that people might not be initially favorably disposed toward.
A lobbyist is nothing more than someone who's hired to be able to represent a broad group of people so that they don't have to all travel to Washington and go make their case known. You hire somebody to do that for you.
In 2003, Gillespie became the chairman of the Republican National Committee and also became a fixture on cable news and Sunday morning talk shows.
From our perspective at the RNC,
one of Gillespie's frequent sparring partners was Terry McAuliffe, another Catholic University graduate who served as Democratic National Committee chair from 2000 until 2005. McAuliffe would later transition from strategist to candidate himself, first running for governor of the Commonwealth in 2009 before winning in 2013.
I do think that Terry McAuliffe's rise in Virginia politics prompted Ed Gillespie to do the same thing. I think there's a natural rivalry between the two that goes back to their Catholic University days and the fact that they're both notable Catholic University alumni. And I think when Ed Gillespie saw the success Terry McAuliffe was having in Virginia, he said, I can do this. I want to do this.
In the summer of 2007, Gillespie joined the Bush White House and served as counselor to the president until Bush left office. A short time later, he'd get a call asking him to help Republicans take back the Virginia governor's mansion.